everybody to just.
Like a circle.
Yeah.
Sit down in a circle and talk.
Well, I know that. Oh my God.
Saddle River. Peel another pear, slice another peach. Last night, fireworks burst like peacock feathers over the dark meadows. We drank, celebrating until dawn. Yet independence doesn't mean liberty. In the morning, I tripped on a fallen nest. My bare toe sunk into warm dawn. A hollyhock was burning in the yard. A water rat splashed beneath the bridge. I walked, repeating to myself, my boy will fill the nucleus of the earth. I am irradiated. Don't kiss me. Eat a slice of that bloody peach. Let me suck the stone and go bury it in the garden.
Doing well. As I said, my name is Ome Congo, trilingual poet and MC. I do poetry and hip hop in English, French, and Swahili. Founder and CEO of Fear Mind Publishing. So to explain the shirts, this is the book. This person emerging from the book. All seeing eye here. Go to the website, it blinks, it's pretty cool. At the top, there's a pyramid representing strength. At the back, it says opening eyes, one mind at a time. I'm also a diversity educator. Actually, Montgomery County is my biggest client out here. I teach about cultural competence and do some work with CNN as a contributor as well. So that's me. The reason why I wanted to share that poem is because the last three poems that I'm going to do have to deal with my country, the Congo. And since we're talking about human rights, I wanted to come and share the story of the Congo because the United States media can only handle one African conflict a decade. So in the 80s it was Ethiopia, in the 90s it was Rwanda, and now it's Sudan. And Congo has disappeared from the radar. So that made it to the radar. So my hope is that if you didn't know much about what's taking place in our country, you'll learn some things here and be inspired to learn more. But I wanted to start off with that first poem because people have a tendency to think that the poetry I share is talking about the entire continent. And there's 54 countries there. There's a lot of beauty. There is some despair. There's more beauty than despair. But the media makes us think everything is the same. But it's not. So, having said that, let's talk about what's going on in my... Mon peuple américain, partout dans le monde, levez-vous, levez-vous, levez-vous. Le final est déjà arrivé. Mon peuple américain, partout dans le monde, levez-vous, levez-vous, levez-vous. You know, they say you can't judge a book by its cover. But it has become appallingly clear that you can judge an entire continent by its media coverage. You see, you can color a whole continent dark with the paint of poorly placed perception when you rely on the media to teach you your Africa lessons. Because I come from a continent that the world thinks is a country. And to put it bluntly, we're all HIV positive until proven negative in the eyes of the media. It's like Africa is either one big safari or Kalahari with seething heathens and no sense of religion and home to animals and animism because TV renditions of African afflictions have created a depiction of a land of savages where the world's most dreadful diseases exceed the law of averages. And since American TV only shows you the ravages of a select few nations, most Americans juxtapose the mother of civilization with phrases like damnation and starvation. And so until we take control of our own images, we can't expect to see a true representation of our beauty. Most non-Africans believe that the most Africa has contributed to the world are phrases like Hakuna Matata and Asante Sana Squash Banana, along with exotic vacations in remote locations, because I ain't never heard an American TV news station even say that we're made up of 54 nations. In the eyes of the media, we're just underdeveloped wannabe Caucasians, still searching for civilization if you buy the media's interpretation of who we are. But am I taking this too far? Because to me, the real problem be the WB, ABC, and NBC, which which are the real WMD, weapons of mind destruction, because most people, including many Africans, only see what they see through the smart bombs they call TV. And it's not just a newscast. It starts to like age 3, because I grew up watching images of Bugs Bunny dressed in grass skirts and blackface, speaking in African dialects. And every 10 years, there's a new version of Tarzan on the TV set. And I don't know about y'all, but I recall seeing gorillas pass for Africans in some of these cartoons. And if you remove Marvin Marshall's helmet from Looney Tunes, he's probably an illegal African alien or famine-stricken African child if his belly protruded. And it's these convoluted images that have helped create grown-up policymakers who partially base their opinions of our homeland from films such as Congo, Gorillas in the Mist and the Air Up There, and we can't forget Tears of the Sun, which left too many tears on the sons and daughters of Africa searching for a positive representation of who we are. But that won't happen until we as Africans take responsibility for our portrayal, because the betrayal of our friends from CBS, Fox, and CNN means that we will never see an end to these characterizations of the continent of human creation, which has been made to look like she's on her deathbed and ready for cremation. But we must show the world that our Mother Africa is strong, vibrant, and defiant, because the pulse of nearly a billion people can never die once we take control of what the world sees. And so we can never comply with pictures painted by pessimists on TV of our homeland, because we, you and me, we are the pulse of Mother Africa, and we must now show the world how proudly we will stand. The world's richest country, now the poorest. A chorus of women's cries across a corrupted country in demise. International lies hide the truth of our turmoil, raping our country of our women, tungsten, coltan, and gold. Young girls now a commodity. It's no longer an oddity. Child soldiers watching bullets and not birds fly over their sky. So we can sit pretty with our PlayStations, laptops, and iPhones. I roam alone across Africa's first world war, starving a country, feeding the globe. Little babies dying so we can have a cell phone and warm home. An Xbox, a TV, a computer, a flat screen, flatlining the dreams of millions of Congolese, never quite able to control their destiny. Mineral gifts turned to curses, body bags with no hearses, babies bouncing from the womb to the tomb in a matter of minutes. But in a minute, you can decide to help turn this tide. Raise your voice for the people, raise hope for the Congo. Turn your cell phone into a microphone and speak knowledge to your college. Tell these computer companies that we need conflict-free products. Realize you're a fool if you don't check the trail of those jewels. You see, diamonds and gold be the fuel to this fire. How can gold become a cancer? I'm searching for an answer in a land where diamonds are not a girl's best friend. But together, working with the Congolese, we can change this direction. If you all decide to raise your conscience and each one teach one, reach one in your grasp to make an army of change, an army of conscious consumers and not soldiers for the same old thin, pathetic solutions to political and profitable prostitution. The true resolution is empowering our women. The center of our land must be made whole once again. The backbone of our nation must be realigned. When our women can stand proudly, our country will once again have its spine. The pride of our future lies in our young boys. The heart of our land lies in our young girls. Congo's future is in all of our hands if we just understand that we're all in this together. So let's raise hope and take a stand for our land. 5 million screams falling on deaf ears. Fatherless children fathered by foreign soldiers. Homes with no husbands. Husbands with no honor. Rape as a tool for much more than power. Pregnant women's legs spread, abandoned by their own community. Thus another rape committed. Another violation unforgiven. Another lifeless life forced to be lived by abandoned women. But on behalf of Congolese men, I ask you to hold your head with pride. Because for us, your screams were never silent. And we were never compliant in these acts so violent. Across oceans, we cried for you when you ran out of tears. Incapable of international intervention to assuage your fears. Your stories became our poems. And your horrors inhabited our homes. And now I just want you to hear that we are here for you. I implore you to forgive the world for having ignored you. For as they raped you, they said that today you will have husbands. But as we embrace you, I say that today you will have brothers. For all of my Congolese daughters, sisters, and mothers, your struggles are appreciated. Your perseverance is respected. Though human interest has depreciated, I'll ensure you're no longer neglected. Let these words be a pillow to comfort you in your despair. And let the words of this one man show you that men around the world will forever love you and will always care. For Honorata.